What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Biblical Bees. Yeah, we are back. We're feeling better. I know last time I talked to you guys, I was struggling, but we are back. We are better, and yeah, we are ready to jump into this. So, I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. If you didn't get to check that out, and this is your first time, welcome. Thank you for joining in, tuning in, and taking the time out of your day to listen, because you don't have to do that. But yeah, I welcome anybody that's new. I have social media platforms for you guys to follow. I have Instagram, which is biblical_bees, and I have a Facebook that is biblical bees, and I have a TikTok that is biblical bees. I'll list all those down in the little description thing. That way you guys can check those out. Give those a follow. Yeah, that's it. And we're just gonna hop right into it. Today, I don't know. I had Bible study this past week, and one of our questions that we had, it kind of really stuck with me, and I thought that I would kind of share my experience on that question with you guys. Because I know sometimes you guys don't always kind of get to hear how things are going, I guess I should say. So I don't know. I thought that this would be a good question to answer for you guys. Let me find it. Yeah. So to hop into it. So pretty much the question was, and I'll put the question in the description as well, of course. So the question that we had was, the question that we had was, currently, does your walk with Jesus look like 1, a casual part of your life, 2, a season of questions and curiosity, or 3, a life-changing walk with him? And I really like this question because I tied into all 3. And I don't know, like, I feel like thinking about the first part when it says a casual part of your life, I definitely feel like my walk is very casual, and I think it's been very casual lately. I think a lot of time, I think especially coming back to school, it's definitely been a little bit more tricky. Obviously before coming back to school, I mean, I was working and, different things like that, but I wasn't so occupied with, schoolwork and this event, that event, doing this, doing that, just doing different things. So, during the summertime, it was a little bit more easier to kind of be able to have like that natural flow in my walk. And I think kind of ever since coming to school, it's definitely been more on the casual side. I feel like I've definitely been doing a lot of just kind of the bare minimum and keeping it casual, being, that I just have a lot of, things that's going on, and with school and different things like that, which is never an excuse. I never want to make that an excuse for anything, because I feel like one of the main statements that I love so bad is that if you want to, you will. And I like that because, like I said, it's pretty much saying if you want to do something, you will do it. Just like how we want to, go on our phone and do this. You know what I'm saying? So I always think about that, and I never try to make that as an excuse that, I'm in school and different things like that, because there's a lot of people that are hard workers at the job that they are doing, or, just different things like that. But I definitely think that it's definitely been a lot more on the casual side, and as far as just kind of doing what I need to do to get through the day, and not a lot of, how can I put it? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, doing things throughout the day just to not say that I did it, but I don't know. I think sometimes when I am doing certain things, it kind of feels more so of a chore than, something that should already be implemented into my life, if that makes sense. So that's something that I've been working on a lot more, as we've been getting these weeks in, going in at school, doing a lot more things on my own, trying to do a lot more things on my own. Because a good amount of my portion of my week, I'm, whether that's at church or at Bible study, I'm reading with others. So I think really taking that time to allow my individual relationship and my walk for myself be um, not as casual. Been trying to do more. Been trying to want to do more. You know what I'm saying? Just like different things like that. Because I think sometimes, especially, um, with me being at school and everything, running around campus, doing everything, sometimes I can lose track of that. And, being that I am running around and, having a complete opposite schedule than I thought that I would, having night classes now and, uh, going to work throughout the day and then after work having to, do that. It has been a little bit hard um, and I think also it's been a little challenging to kind of be able to um, implement that in a better way. But like I said, that's been something that I've been working on a lot more, and something that I've just been praying about a lot more to kind of see how I can better implement this into my life without making it just seem so casual, or without making it seem like this is a life duty that I need to do, or a chore that needs to get checked off of my notebook, if that makes sense. um, so that's definitely something that I've been trying to work a lot more on, because I know we can get busy. We may get tired throughout the day or throughout the week, and sometimes we might even get lazy. And I can speak for that as well. Sometimes when I get off of work or get out of class, I am truly exhausted and ready to just get in my bed and relax. So that's definitely something that I've been thinking about and praying about, just to see how I can better do that for myself, and be able to implement that in my life a little bit better than what I was doing before. So yeah, I don't know, just trying to not make it so casual. Like I said, I know sometimes it gets hard, getting busy, just doing what we need to do, you know, to get through the day. But I don't want I don't want my walk to feel like it is a task, it is a duty, it is something that needs to get checked off, or things like that. So I've just, like I said, just been kind of just working on that, and not allowing it to get to that point, because I know being that, we can get so distracted sometimes, it can seem like that, like, okay, when I get off work, I'm gonna read this, and then, okay, it's checked off, and, I just don't want it to, feel like that or seem like that. So, that's definitely something that, gonna continue to work on and continue to grow in that aspect. And I feel like this second part is like 99% of my walk. I feel like throughout my walk, I feel like I'm always questioning and always so curious on what is going on, whether that is in my life, whether that is with things going on in the world, or whether that if I'm just reading and I'm like, what is this? Like, what I'm saying? I feel like there's so many different things that I go through in my life, and I'm just like, God, like, why is this going on right now? Like, why am I feeling like I am just in a dark place right now? And one of the things that I was thinking about last weekend, I was just like, God, why do I feel so like lonely? Like, why do I feel like I don't have anybody here with me? And I realized that when um, I wanted to go to a football game last weekend, and I had shared this story with some of my friends um, last weekend or last week, and I went. There was this game that I wanted to go to here. My college had a game, and I wanted to go, but I didn't have anyone to go with because my cousin wasn't here at the time, and I normally go to places with her because obviously I have wonderful friends within my life group that are truly amazing, but I don't have like that close circle how some of them do. So it's been kind of hard to kind of not always rely on my cousin to want to do certain things, and kind of wanting to do things with them. And I really started to realize that when I woke up that Saturday, and I'm like, I want to go to this game. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to ask. I don't know who to go with, because I'm the type of person that if you have a friend group, if one of my friends has a friend group, I don't invite myself to what people are doing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not who I am. I've never been that type because now I feel like not that I'm an outsider, but like I'm more like the outskirts because like this is, this isn't my typical friend group. Of course if I get asked, obviously, you know what I'm saying, that's different. And so like I was really just sitting there like, why do I feel so lonely? Like I don't have anyone. It should not be this hard. Like I'm like, this is my last year in college. Why does it feel like I still haven't found my people or my group or my closest friends? Like why does it feel that way? And I don't know. I was like really sad that morning because I like just thinking about that. Like normally by the time people are in their third year, they have best friends and groups of friends that they can hang out with, but I don't. And I know part of that is from, my freshman year, not really going anywhere and not really putting myself out there. And, things like that. But I don't know. It just feels like, I don't know. I just felt some type of way about it because I just felt like I've been here so long. Why does it seem like that? And even last year during my sophomore year, I put I put myself out there even more um, within the church that I went to, going to different events, making so many friends, and I made so many friends last year, and it truly was amazing. Um, but I don't know, it was just like that morning. I don't know. It was just very weird to have that feeling when I have so many friends, and I'm like, God, like I don't know like what this means. Like, are you telling me that I need to go out more? I need to do more things, or just even just walk up to a person and, ask them hi, how are they doing? Like, I just did not, I just didn't know. And so I feel like this also was a time for me to learn during this time and being so like curious and just questioning this to God. This allowed me to give myself an opportunity to put myself out there. This gave me the opportunity, mind you, for those that know me, I have never been the type to, like, I don't know how to put it. Like, if we're not close friends, I've never been the type of person to reach out and, like things like that. This gave me the opportunity to do that because I really wanted to go to this game. I didn't really want to sit in my room, so I had messaged a girl that I was going to be hanging out with that following week from my life group, and I asked her, was she going to the game? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, um, do you mind if I go with you? Like, I didn't really know what to say, but I was like, hey, like, is it okay if I go with you? I don't really have anyone to go with. And she was like, yeah, of course, you can come with me and my friends, that's no problem. And in that moment, I just felt just relief knowing that I was able to be invited to something, and I wasn't even super close with this girl. Never even had conversation with her, besides through text message, talking to her that day and scheduling a time for us to meet. But I was just like, God, was this meant to happen? Did you want me to be able to get out of my comfort zone to be able to do this? Because I'm telling you guys, I would have never done nothing like that, and I have never also done nothing like that. So I feel like in that moment, God wanted me to explore and put myself out there in a way that I would have never done. And I felt really happy in that moment. And when I was sharing this with my friends, telling them, they were even happy for me because a lot of people that know me, I'm not really a big talker. I'm not really a big, social person like that. Obviously, like, unless, like, we are close friends, close friends, or like my best friends, then that's a little bit different. But when I'm around people that I'm really not like like I don't know how to explain it, but like I feel like you guys get what I'm trying to say. But like I don't know, like if we're already not in a tight circle, I'm not like very outgoing like that. But this kind of gave me that opportunity to be able to do that, which was something that I was definitely proud of myself about. Being able to do that, because like I said, I am not the type of person to do that whatsoever. But I think that was definitely a moment that God was trying to get me to put myself out there and to be able to initiate with others more, because I'm not a big initiator at all. Um, like if people come to me, of course I'm gonna talk, But with me doing that for them, it's very not difficult, but I don't know. I get the jitters a lot, so it kind of makes it like a little bit nervous. But I think this was God telling me that I need to start doing that more often, and put myself out there more often. So I was kind of happy at the end when I did end up doing that, getting to meet new people and hang out with new people. So that was really nice. But yeah, and the last part, when it says, does your walk with Jesus look like a life changing walk with Him? I feel like that's 100%. I feel like ever since I've been saved, my life has changed in so many different ways, so many different aspects. I feel like I feel like I can see a difference in myself because the way I think is different, the way I see things is different. The way I move certain ways is 100% different. And I feel like, before I got saved, I would have still had that same old mindset of, certain things. But from the time that I've gotten saved to now, I have so many different perspectives on how I see things now because of that relationship that I have with God, and just, maturing in my faith. It allows me to see things. Obviously, we're humans. We're still gonna see things in a certain way, but it also allows me to be able to see things in a spiritual way as well, and being able to see things like, okay, how would God look at this, or how would just kind of having those questions pop up in my mind, about certain things. And I just feel like it's been almost 2 years, um, since I've been saved, so there's just been a lot of growth and a lot of change in myself, um, that I have been able to see, and also others, friends and family, being able to see that as well. And I don't know, I just feel like I have been in a more happy place, in a happy environment since that time. Um, I don't know, I just feel like he's just always working in me every day, helping me to be a better version of myself. And I don't know. I don't know. I think this past week I've been able to see and realize a lot of things about myself that I may not have realized before. And if I did, I kind of just pushed it to the side. So I think that me just being on this walk allows me to see a lot more things clearly about myself that, I wasn't able to see when I was in high school, or, when I was younger, and just different things like that. So I just think just walking with him has just made my life 10 times better than what it used to be in the past. Obviously, of course, he's done so many things in my life that I could just forever be grateful for. A lot of prayers that I have prayed about that he's just answered. It might not have been on my timing, but he's answered them, and blessed me with the things that I have asked for, or maybe was in need for. And it just brings me a lot of gratitude just to know that he does answer those prayers. Like I said, it may not be when we want it to happen. It may not be, that split second. It may take months. It may take a year. But he does answer those. He does answer those prayers. And during those times of waiting, that allows us to be able to have that time where we can have patience, where we can see how our patience is with God, and see how it is, because sometimes we do have to wait. We have to learn how to wait on him, and I think during those times of waiting, that really shows, do we trust God in this waiting process? And I've experienced something like that before, and I've even told you guys about that, when I was making my way to getting my car. That was right there as clear as day. That waiting process was hard for me, and I had to suffer the consequences with that, because I wasn't waiting on him, and I wasn't trusting in him that he was going to fulfill that need that I have of wanting to get a car. And so I think just being able to see all these different experiences and these different challenges that I had to go through allows me to better myself at that, and allows me to learn on from those mistakes, and be able to better myself, for him. So it definitely has been life changing in so many ways that I can't even picture, or wouldn't have pictured, a couple months ago, a year ago. So I think it's just been a crazy ride, of course, but I think it's just allowed me to grow in so many ways, and I've just been able to be the best version of myself. Even starting my podcast, I would have never thought in a million years that I would be doing this, um, at all. And now that I'm able to do it and I'm doing it for him, it's life changing for me. Now I have platforms out here where people listen to me from all over the world. And it's crazy to think that, you know, people would want to listen to me. Not that they wouldn't want to, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy to think that people all over the world will want to just listen to the couple minutes that they hear me speak. And that is even life changing for myself. Because my whole purpose with this was just to be able to share my story, share my experience with others, and just be able to share God's word with you guys, for maybe some people that are new, maybe for some people that have been thinking about it, or people that's already been growing in their faith 50 years strong, whatever the case may be. My whole purpose is just do that, and to just possibly change one person's life. That's really been my whole purpose with this. And it's gonna always be my purpose. I'm not saying I want to change the whole world. Of course, that would be amazing. I would love to do something like that. But if I can just make an impact in one person's life, that's perfectly fine with me. So there's just been a lot of life changing moments in my life that I have truly just been appreciative of. And this is definitely one of them. I love doing this for you guys. I love just being able to just be myself, um, be be truthful, and just being able to share God's word with you guys. Because, like I said, 2 years ago, I would have never ever thought that I would be doing this, but I'm really glad that I have made the decision to do so. And I hope you guys are glad that I've made the decision to do this as well, because I really enjoy doing this, for you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much how my walk has been going currently. It's like I said, it's been a casual start. It's been a casual start coming into this school year, filled with just a lot of curiosity and questions, but also still going through those life changing moments, those unforgettable moments. But I continue to grow every day, continue to work on myself every day, my relationship every day, and just strive to just be like Jesus. That's the end goal, is just to strive to want to be like him, and just to continue to grow in our spiritual body, and be more mature in that way. That's all I hope to do, and that's all I hope to continue doing, as well. So yeah, I hope that you guys, um, can do that as well. Continue to grow in your relationship, and just continue doing what is best for you. Our faith walk is not for others, it's for ourselves. It's to be able to please our Father. It has nothing to do with nobody else. Don't do what other people are doing because you don't want to feel left out. Do what is best for you, because that's what I had to do. In that moment, I had to forget about everybody. I had to forget about my friends. I had to forget about just different things, and I had to do what was best for Savon in that moment, and I did. And I will never regret that decision. So yeah, I just encourage you guys this week. What can you do to better your walk? What can you do to keep pushing forward in your walk? Um, and yeah, I just hope that, you guys can continue to live out your lives, um, as our Father has intended us to. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I hope that that gave you some type of encouragement or maybe a little motivation. Um, yeah, and I just hope that you guys just keep pushing and keep striving, because that's what I've been doing. That's what have been trying to keep doing, for as long as I can. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. And next week there is not an episode. Remember, there's not an episode next week. So I hope that you guys take that time to reflect. Do whatever it is you have to do. Take that time to be able to look back and see how you've grown within the past week. And also, if you have not checked out any of the other um, episodes, tune into those. You can catch those on any of your favorite platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, all of that. You can see all of the platforms that I am available on my website. Um, so yeah, I really thank you guys for listening, and I hope that you guys enjoy. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.